Good morning, eighth graders. So welcome to your first assignment. There's a few things that I want to show you before we get started. I have all these tabs open and I don't want to keep clicking back and forth through tabs when I'm taking my notes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull this tab over to the side until it creates that phantom page. And then I'm going to let go, and that's going to resize that tab to that half of the screen. So then what I also want to do is I'm going to go into my Google Drive to get my virtual notebook. So we're going to open the drive, and then you would go to the one that says classroom. Okay. I'm going to this one. And then I'm going to open up my notebook. Now, I don't want all these other tabs either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this one out and I'm going to drag it to this side of the page until I get that phantom page. And then I'm going to let go. Then I'm going to go back to here and I am going to boop. Okay, so this is the page that has the video lesson that I'm creating now. And then this one is your virtual notebook. Now, your tabs, all of these tabs work. So you want to go to Exploring Horticulture and jump to slide 2, or you can scroll down. Okay. My computer's a little slow. I apologize. All right, so page 2 is going to give you the table of contents. That way, when you're done filling everything out and you're taking the quiz, if you want to just jump to a specific question or part, you can do that. But we're going to go here. Now, this is pretty good. I can pretty much see this. If you can't, then what you want to do is click up here. You want to zoom to probably, or just click the thing and then it'll do it that way. The only problem is you're going to have to use these toggle bars to go up and down and from side to side. Okay, so what you're going to do, the first question is, what is horticulture? So remember, all of these, oh, make sure you hit your arrow back so that you can type and pick, click on stuff. So what is horticulture? So all of these you can type in, you just click on them, but you cannot change any of this other stuff. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to answer this question. I will tell you before I get to the question in the lesson. Okay, so this is question number 1. What is horticulture? Then that's what you're going to put. Okay, I will refer to the question in the lesson. So then you just come over here and you can type it in. All right, so I am going to just leave you with this idea, and I am going to move on and do the actual lesson. Welcome to Exploring Horticulture. So these pictures are actually when we landscape the out front of the building. So if you look at that now, it's actually a lot bigger and a lot more grown. So it looks very nice. We just have to continually shape it and take care of it. And then these are gooseberries that grow in the garden. All right, so your lesson essential question is, what is the horticulture industry? That's what you're going to be able to answer after we are done this lesson. So for question number 1 in your notes, it says, what is horticulture? Horticulture is the culture of plants for food, comfort, and beautification purposes. It is more than just gardening. It is more than just producing food, okay? All right, so question number 2, what is horticulture science? So this is the field of science that deals with the cultivation of horticultural plants. I also want you to add in there, what does cultivation mean? So cultivating means taking care and raising your plants. You are watering them. You're giving them the nutrients they need. You're giving them the right amount of sunshine that they need, all right, to produce photosynthesis. All of that is cultivating your plant. So when you plant your seed, you're sowing your seed. And then as that starts to germinate, which means to grow, you're going to cultivate that plant, which means to take care of it so that it grows to its full potential. And then you're going to harvest that plant, which means to take it out. All right, so question 3, what is botany? So what is the horticulture industry? So botany is the study of plants and their processes. How do they work? How do they function? How do they make food? How do they protect themselves? How do they, talk to one another? All of that is botany. that also says to include a picture. So don't use what I've given you here, but I want you to include a picture of what botany is, as is explained right here. Question number 4, what is horticulture technology? So this is basically anything that makes the study of plants better. Okay, we're talking about microscopes, we're talking about slides, we're talking about chemicals, we're talking about scientists, anything that studies botany and helps better the botany industry and the horticulture industry, that is the technology. So it's the application of science to horticulture. It's more than just daily watering. Plants need so much more than just water. They need nutrients, they need love, they need attention, they need sunlight, they need food, okay? They need basically all the kind of same things that we need. It's the time, patience, and understanding of the processes of plants and how they actually work and live and survive. Okay, question number 5. Why is it important to understand plants and how they function? I want you to take a minute and tell me, why do you think it's important for us to understand how these plants work? How does that benefit us? What does it do for us as humans? So you're going to pause the video and then you're going to answer that question and come back when you're ready. Question number 6, what are the 3 main areas that make up the horticulture industry? So this is science plus technology plus production. Without those 3 things, the horticulture industry does not exist. You have to have the science behind understanding the plants. You need to have the technology to back up that science to understand how plants work and function. And then you need to produce those plants. If you don't produce the plants, well, then there's nothing, period. You have no horticulture industry without those 3. So that's what you're putting in question number 6, science plus technology plus production. All right, so for the next part of this lesson, divisions of horticulture, I've created a box for each separate division. So what you need to do is that you need to put next to the question, or like question number 7, Q7, you're going to put the term. Then underneath of that, you're going to put the definition. Then underneath of that, you need to include a picture of what it is we are talking about. Okay? All right, so the first division, this is question number 7, is called pomology. All you need to put, you don't have to put all that. All you have to do is put anything that deals with fruits and nuts. That's all you got to put. Now, anything means planting, harvesting, storing, processing, and marketing. All of that, as long as it deals with fruits and nuts, that's it. And I hope you all understand that a nut, and I actually didn't know this before, I started teaching this, but a nut is actually a dry fruit, whereas our berries and stuff like that, they're considered a wet fruit. Okay, which kind of makes sense. You know, these are always wet and juicy. These are always dry and crunchy. So, but these are in the fruit category. They're just a dry fruit. So find a picture of pomology, look it up, and then insert it into here. And there's 2 ways you can do that. You can either use the, let me show you real quick. Let's skip down to that page. So you can either use this insert image tab and you can upload it from your computer if you want to find a picture on a separate tab. If you want to just search the web real quick and you would type in pomology, okay, then you can find whatever picture you want and then you can just drag it over. I like to add borders and anything to mine. You don't have to be as extreme, but you know, just adds a little touch to it. Okay. All right, so question number 8. The next one is called alericulture. So this is anything to do with vegetables, whether it be plants, anything to do with. The next one for question number 8 is alericulture. This is anything to do with vegetables, which means planting, harvesting, storing, processing, and marketing of vegetables. So again, you want to put the term, the definition, and find a picture. Number 9 is ornamental horticulture. This is the growth and use of plants for their beauty. So anytime that you see really nice landscaping using ornamental plants, those are the ones that are shaped like certain things. Like this one right here is, I can't tell if it's a giraffe or a llama or what that is. But you know, this one is shaped somewhat like a cone and it's got layers to it. Those would be ornamentals. Anything that beautifies the environment by using design. Next one is floriculture. So floriculture is producing, transporting, and using flowers and foliage plants. So if you were to go see a florist, okay, that's where you would get your flower bouquets. Well, foliage also means leaves. So if you've ever noticed that if you get a bouquet of flowers, it doesn't just contain flowers. It contains berries, it contains leaves, it contains all kind of decorative items, which would be the foliage. And then you have your flowers. Next one is landscape horticulture. So this is the production and use of plants to beautify the environment. So that means you're taking those ornamentals and you're putting them in your environment to beautify the environment, to make it look better. So those are two different things. Ornamentals are the plants that you're going to use to landscape, to beautify the environment. All right, the next one is called a nursery. So this is where the plants, shrubs, and ornamentals are grown until they're ready to be transported and transplanted. So a nursery is, you're gonna see them, a lot of trees growing in the ground in one area. That would be a nursery. That's where they planted them. That's where they grew them and cultivated them and took care of them until somebody or some business comes in and buys them and is ready to plant them. And then we have the garden center. So this is a retail outlet that sells plants grown in the nurseries. So this would be things like Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, any place that sells bulk plants. Okay, they bought them from the nursery that cultivated them and raised them and took care of them, then sold them to these garden centers who then sell them to you. And then the last one is arboriculture. So this is the care of trees. An arborist is a scientist who cares for trees. And if you've ever heard of Arbor Day, okay, Arbor Day is where you go out and you plant trees. So in your own words, after seeing this presentation, I would like you to explain in your own words what horticulture is to you. So after everything that you've learned today in today's lesson, what does it all mean to you? How does it all connect and how does it all work together to produce the horticulture industry? All right. If you guys have any questions about this lesson, please reach out to me and let me know. Make sure that once you're finished taking your notes, you go back into Google Classroom and you attach the notebook to the actual lesson. And I've already provided a video on how to do that. So if you don't know, go back and watch the video. And if you're still having trouble, reach out to me. But you need to make sure you attach the notebook so that I can grade it. If you don't attach it, I will send it back to you without a grade. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know. Have a great day.